Ever find yourself staring at a painting and thinking, like, what am I missing here? It's like everyone else sees something, some hidden depth that you just can't quite grasp.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, get this, what if we could use AI to unlock those secrets? Like, actually use artificial intelligence to change how we see art.
That's a really interesting idea.
It is. And that's our deep dive today, right here, right now, AI and art appreciation. And just to be clear, we're not talking about AI creating art that's a whole other can of worms.
Right.
We're talking about using AI to understand, to actually see art in a whole new way.
I like it.
So the source material for this deep dive uses this really cool analogy that I think helps to wrap our heads around this whole thing. Imagine you're at a museum with a friend who's been blind since birth.
Okay, yeah.
How would you describe a painting to them?
Oh, that's good. It's such a great analogy because it really gets at the heart of what's so tricky about art appreciation. We take it for granted that we can just look at something and understand it.
Right.
But to actually break down a visual experience, to put it into words,
It's hard.
it's really, really hard. You have to consciously think about the colors, the shapes, the composition, all those things that our brains kind of process automatically.
Yeah, all the stuff we don't even realize we're seeing.
Exactly. And that's essentially what AI is doing when it analyzes a painting. It's breaking down the image into its fundamental elements.
Okay, I get that. But like, haven't art historians been doing that for centuries? I mean, what's so different about what AI can do?
Sure. Yeah. Art historians have incredible knowledge. They spent their whole lives studying art, right?
Right.
But think about this. Imagine if you could give an art enthusiast access to a database of every painting, every brushstroke, every artistic movement in history.
That's a lot of information.
It's mind-boggling, right?
Oh.
Well, that's kind of what we're talking about with AI. It's like giving it, I don't know, 20,000 art history classes.
20,000?
Yeah, figuratively speaking, of course. But you get the idea. It can process so much information so quickly.
So it's like AI is the super-powered art history student.
Kind of. And it's not just about the quantity of information. It's the connections that it can make. It can analyze a painting in the context of everything it's ever seen before. The real magic is how AI can help us refocus on the experience of looking at art.
Okay, what do you mean by that?
Well, sometimes we get so caught up in the historical details or the monetary value of a painting.
Oh, tell me about it. I feel like I spend half my time in museums reading those little placards next to the artwork.
Right. And sometimes in all that, we forget to just take a step back and actually experience the art.
Yeah.
And that's where AI can be so helpful. It kind of cuts through all the noise and brings us back to that childlike sense of wonder.
I like that.
It encourages us to really look at the colors, the shapes, the brushstrokes, to see the art with fresh eyes.
So it's not about replacing human interpretation. It's more like enhancing it.
Exactly. It helps us ask better questions, notice things we might have missed, and ultimately appreciate art on a deeper level.
This is blowing my mind. Seriously, I don't think I'll ever look at a painting the same way again.
Me neither. And that's the really exciting thing about it. It's not just for art historians. It has the potential to make art more accessible and meaningful for everyone.
That's amazing. But then that takes us to the big question. What does it really mean to create art then?
Yeah, one of the excerpts even brought up that anxiety some artists feel. Like, why bother if AI can do it faster, maybe even better, technically?
Right, and that's understandable. But one of the texts makes a really interesting comparison that think about a child's drawing.
Oh, yeah.
It might not be, hanging in the Louvre, but there's a joy, an immediacy to it. And we appreciate that, right? We connect with the effort, the expression, not just the technical skill.
Totally. And that's something AI can't replicate, at least not yet.
Yeah.
That human element, the emotion, the intention behind the art.
Exactly. The story the art tells, the experiences embedded in it. AI might be able to mimic style, but it can't replicate the human experience behind the art.
Which I think it leads to a really interesting point. Maybe this isn't about AI replacing artists, but actually making us better artists.
So that's a great way to put it. One of the excerpts even argues that AI can actually enhance our creativity, not by doing the work for us, but by helping us see things differently. And AI, in a way, can be like our coach for this.
Because it forces us to think about how we would communicate what we see to something that doesn't see the world the way we do.
Exactly. And in that process, we might start to notice things we never would have otherwise. Subtle color shifts, the way light plays across a surface, the emotions certain shapes evoke.
It's like AI is giving us a new language to describe and therefore experience the visual world.
And that's what's so exciting. It's not about replacing human vision, but, like you said, enhancing it, pushing us to go beyond our usual ways of seeing.
Which, honestly, this whole deep dive has really shifted my perspective. I went from, oh man, is AI going to take over art, to, wait, this could actually make me a more creative, perceptive person overall.
And that's the beauty of it. AI can create technically proficient pieces, but the real magic, those aha moments of discovery and expression, those belong to us.
So here's something to ponder as we wrap up. If AI can help us deconstruct images into these fundamental elements, could it also help us break free from those same roles? Could truly understanding the rules be the key to bending them, breaking them even, to create entirely new forms of artistic expression? Think about that.
It's going to be a fascinating journey.
It really is.